The purpose of this training video is to record the creation of an asset. First, we're going to come up to a client record. If we have an existing client, we can add an asset or multiple assets onto that client record. So we're just going to set up a client record to make sure that we've got all the information. We're going to add a client name. We're going to add any comments that are relevant to that client that we might want to see. New client. This is for staff reference. We're going to assign some terms and some basic contact information. We're going to assign some classifications. All of these fields you can type into the single drop-down arrow in order to find your selection faster. So once we've got the basic primary information, it's really imperative to create an asset that we have an address. So click on the address sub-tab and the pencil icon, and we'll go into edit mode. This will pull through the client name as the addressee. You can add an additional attention line, for example, an owner's name, and you can see how that presents here. The address. Before saving the address, it's really important that we make sure that we don't have any typos. Click OK. Now you can see that this has added a line for 10 Curry Court. It's marked as both the default shipping and the default billing address. If we wanted to add a billing address, we could simply, for example, pop in a billing address and mark that as the default billing by ticking yes. Once I click add, the default billing will be removed from this service address and be added to the default billing. So I'm going to click save. This will create the client record. Once this is confirmed created, we can either come up to the add new and add a next service asset, or we can scroll down to the next service sub-tab into assets and click on new next service asset. First of all, we're not going to touch these name and serial fields. We're going to click in item and select the type of body of water or equipment that it is, for example, outdoor pool. We're going to use the region. Some people use this region in order to organize the scheduler in a fashion that groups your different assets into different regions within the marketing territory. You can also filter on the scheduler by technicians that service those type of areas. From the address select, because we've already created the asset from the customer record, it's pulling through the customer number and name and pulling through the addresses that we've added. You can see that there's two here, and we're going to pick the service address. That will pre-populate the information. I'm going to pick the relevant marketing territory that lines up with this address. There is a client asset reference section, and we'll see how that pulls through to the scheduler and to the task. Also notes. These notes here will be shown on the next service app header, which is readily available for your technician to see. For example, gate codes or specific instructions relating to this asset. You may or may not know some of the pool or body of water information. These can later be populated by your technician while they're on site via the next service app. There's a great asset to your business in filling this out. We can actually use this information for you, and you can search for this information yourself by using Save Search capabilities. For example, you may want to contact everybody who has an asset that has a solar heating type and do some local area marketing. So we're going to populate what we can and come and click Save. That will revert us back to the client record. We can navigate down to Next Service, and we can view our asset from here. From here, we can navigate to Projects and Cases and start our job.